Believe me, it's a really good thing that the nomads can't just come and go around Valsembor as they please anymore.
That big boat, the Crystal, it's been rotting at the dock for years.
Things are heating up for Mayor Bulyakin.
My squid is absolutely fresh, miss. Listen, miss, it's fresh. Most other shopkeepers are on strike. I can't do the same.
We're going to see the nomad souk. Apparently they have good prices.
Since the town hall closed the port, we sometimes get the impression we're living in a ghost town.
Hi there. Anything biting?
As if. 20 years there's been fewer fish, but sometimes you can get lucky. Go figure. It's really odd.
You seem to know the region well. Maybe you can fill me in a bit. I'd like to know a little bit more about the local legend. I was told that there's a monster down there, living at the bottom of the lake.
It's not a legend.
And how can you be so sure?
Back when, the lake froze over earlier in the season. People would go out and make holes in the ice in the middle of the lake, then fish like that. Sometimes they would even set up these cabins for the winter next to the hole. The old folk always said you should only cut a small hole, just wide enough so the fish could be pulled through when you landed them. No more than that. One day, this guy who was kind of odd cut a really big hole. To make it easier, he said. In case he caught a really big one. You don't have to believe me, but he's the one who went into the hole. Backwards. Into the depths. In less time than it takes to say it, the monster's arm came through the hole, then dragged the poor guy down to the bottom of the lake. That's why the old folks say never make a big hole in the ice, because of the monster that lurks below.
And how do you know all that?
Because the poor guy was my older brother. And I was fishing just next to him that day. So you think what you want. You have a good day, miss. It's because of the lake monster that the locks are closed. 20 years the port's been left to rot. Damn Baranur.
You almost fell right in the water. Have you ever thought about moderating your consumption of vodka, sir?
R-E-N-O.
Pardon?
It's me, Captain Obo. Obo! Proud commander of the just as proud crystal. So don't you, sir, me.
Well, delighted. Captain, I'm Kate Walker. I'm looking for Steiner's, the clockmaker.
If I fall in the water, sailor, it'll be to go straight to hell. So don't fall in the water, sailor. You understand? Bastard's waiting for me.
Who are you talking about?
The monster of the lake is waiting for us all, miss. Everyone's time comes eventually. To finish the work. Come on, back in the fight. Because you can never lower your guard. Never.
Tavern. Excuse me, please, miss.
Yes?
I'm looking for Simon Steiner's.
Simon Steiner is my grandfather. My name is Sarah. Sarah Steiner.
Pleased to meet you, Sarah. I'm Kate Walker. Can you tell me where I can find your grandfather's workshop?
Of course. You'll find his shop is at the end of the alleyway, on the left, just as you leave it, in the main avenue. Can I ask what you want with him? Because he's rather old, you know.
I'm accompanying the Youkol caravan. Apparently your grandfather is supposed to be making a mechanical prosthesis for Kirk, their spiritual chief, who had a bad accident recently. Without the artificial leg, Kirk won't be able to go along with the great migration of his people. And on top of that, the Youkols won't leave without their guide.
You're accompanying the Youkols? My God, you're so terribly lucky. When I was little, Grandfather used to tell me all about their adventures, full of mystery and magic.
You seem to like the Youkol, Sarah. I get the impression that's rare in Valsembor.
It's true that when it comes to the Youkols, people around here can be a bit silly. They go out of their way to make the nomads scapegoats for all of the town's problems since they got stuck here.
But you don't, do you?
Of course not. Grandfather told me that he has actually seen 3 or 4 of the great ostrich migrations in his lifetime, and he always really respected those strange people. He even made sure I would admire them too, you know.
I guess you're pretty close to your grandfather?
Yes. Of course he can get a bit grumpy, especially the last few years, but he's actually really adorable, and you should see the work he does. Give him a few cogs and springs and he'll give you some unbelievably incredible invention. He almost makes mechanical objects seem alive.
I see exactly what you mean. I used to know someone like that too.
The only problem we have is that business collapsed when he got sick. I really do believe that if I didn't have the waitressing jobs to make ends meet, we'd probably have to close up shop.
Do you like life in Valsembor?
Oh, there's really not that much to talk about here, you know. I spend all my time here or with Grandfather since he got sick.
There was no one who could keep an eye on him for you?
We can't afford it, I'm afraid. I also think I prefer it this way. My grandfather is my only family.
Thank you for your help.
I'll be stopping in to see Grandfather on my next break. Maybe I'll see you there.
Yes, I hope so. Goodbye, Sarah.
I hope Grandfather remembered to take his medication this morning. He hates it when people treat him like he's sick. We're pretty lucky with all we've been through. At least we've still got places like this.
It's been hard to sell our produce since the port closed. And now those nomads show up and undercut us.
All those youngsters trying to act smart to impress the Steiner girl. It really gets to me.
That's the nice man who helped me leave the Youkol camp. I should go thank him. That's the nice man who helped me leave the Youkol camp. I should go thank him.
The lake is haunted by a demon. It's watching me. Waiting. I can feel it.
That shape there in the water. What is it?
There's something about those nomads at our doors they're not telling us.
All those youngsters trying to act smart to impress the Steiner girl. It really gets to me.
I'd really suggest you steer well clear of Captain Obo, miss. He's always basically drunk as a skunk.
I'm not standing here because I'm happy, you know, miss.
That's the nice man who helped me leave the Youkol camp. I should go thank him.
I'd rather be left here on my own if you don't mind, miss.
A tavern.
Everyone's been surly the last few months.
I don't have any coins. Too bad.
Looking for cigars or some hooch? I'm even cheaper than the nomads.
Living here is unbearable sometimes of late.
The shopkeepers are on strike for the first time in ages. That's not good business for anyone, if you want my opinion.
There have been 10 thefts from my shop since those savages showed up! Mr. Mayor, who's gonna pay?
Mr. Mayor! Do your job and come...
Excuse me. What's happening here?
Isn't it obvious? We're demonstrating against having the Youkol nomads parked on our doorsteps.
But what for?
Since they came to Valsembor, there's been no end to the shoplifting and vandalism, and on top of that, their souk is taking our customers. Mayor Bulyakin has to do something, and fast. We're not leaving until he receives our delegation.
But why won't the mayor talk to you?
Because he's a schmuck. He wants the nomads to continue their migration as much as us, but he's too afraid of annoying his higher-ups. And while he's gaining time by playing both sides of the board, we're watching our sales go through the floor.
The authorities are asking the mayor to prevent the migration from continuing? They want the Youkols to stay blocked in Valsembor?
That's what people are saying, but if you want my opinion, the only thing the mayor is waiting for is someone to get rid of those savages without him having to get his hands dirty. The nomad souk doesn't have any real hygiene standards whatsoever.
You should have seen it back when the port was still open and booming. You'd never even heard of a strike.
Impossible, I don't believe it. He forgot to leave it open again.
Kirill! Kirill!
Hello. Are you Mr. Steiner? I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Steiner. My name is Kate Walker, and I've come to pick up the prosthesis for Kirk, the Youkol spiritual guide.
And well, dear Miss Walker, Dr. Efimova has informed me that the young man was not yet in any sort of condition to withstand the operation, and that...
Mr. Steiner, are you all right?
It is impossible. That pendant you have around your neck. I would be very obliged if you would entrust me with it for a moment. Please, Miss Walker. Mein Gott! An XZ-2000 automaton heart in perfect working condition! A compensating spring memory, pendulum ventricles and small mechanical pumps. Everything seems in excellent condition. Donnerwetter! Where on earth did you steal this, Miss Walker?
What? Are you calling me a thief, Mr. Steiner? I haven't stolen anything from anyone. This is all I have left of my friend Oscar. Give it back to me right now!
Ah, so. And yet I am actually very familiar with this type of precision mechanism. An infernal precision. Incredible, unique expertise. For this was a Vorarlberg automaton, Miss Walker.
Yes. It was Hans Vorarlberg who designed this object. Tell me, did you know him?
Oh, yeah. He even lived here a few years. We did a lot of work together. He taught me so many different things, you know. So it is useless to try and make up silly stories, Miss Walker. And I am afraid that I am not about to allow you to leave here as long as you have not told me the truth about where this object comes from. I'm starting to lose patience, Miss Walker.
Mr. Steiner, Oscar was a very special automaton. He inspired almost human emotions. But today he doesn't exist. He isn't dead, of course. Because what has never lived cannot die. Oscar was just dismantled. It had to be like that. All that I have left of him is that heart. A heart made of metal.
It's far more than just a heart, miss. It's far more like a kind of mechanical hard drive. A computer that is full of cogs, gears, and springs, but...
Mr. Steiner, are you all right?
My heart... need... my medication! Quickly!
Just don't move. I'll go and get your medication right away. No medication in sight.
Make yourself right at home. Don't mind me. I just own the place.
All that clattering must get really tiring after a while. Who would store medication in this mess? Still nothing. Kirk's prosthesis, but it looks like it isn't finished. A woman's writing saying, "Grandfather, don't forget to take your medication 3 hours before dinner." Who would store medication in this mess? Fantastic! Still nothing. still nothing. Who would store medication in this mess? No medication. No way. Nothing that could help him. There's no point. Nothing that could help him. That could do him more harm than good. That could do him more harm than good. No medication. There's no point.
My heart. I need my medication. Quickly.
No medication. Nothing that could help him. Nothing that could help him. There's no point.
So, you would abandon me to my fate?
I can't just leave him like that.
Look at me. Are you satisfied? I just can't handle any aggravation anymore.
Thank you for your precious help, my dearest Miss Walker. I'm afraid I may have judged you somewhat hastily.
Don't mention it, Mr. Steiner. Tell me about the prosthesis. I need to take it back to Kirk very quickly, if, of course, you agree to let me have it.
Yeah. I just have a few small adjustments to make. It involves very precise and meticulous mechanics, understand?
Will it take long? I'm sorry to insist, but I also have to give a hand to those unfortunate Youkols. I need to help them get across the lake with their herd of ostriches. I'm so worried about them.
Once the mechanical leg is at last ready, I can go to the clinic and bring back young Kirk to you. That way you only have to worry about what happens to the other Youkols.
That's so nice of you, Mr. Steiner. But why are you doing this?
I wasn't extremely nice to you earlier. And also the way the Youkols are treated by the other townsfolk here, in my own town, disgusts me. So I want to help those poor devils, even if I am in no way absolutely certain they should be crossing the lake.
What on earth's the matter, Mr. Steiner?
The next stage of your journey is the poor cursed town of Baranor. It has become hell on earth since the time of the last great ostrich migration.
Please join me downstairs for a moment, Miss Walker. I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Fantastic!
Look just next to the films there, Miss Walker. You should find a film on Baranor.
Impossible. Nothing. That's not right. All that I have left of dear Oscar. Tools that would have suited Hans. Kirk's prosthesis, but it looks like it isn't finished.
When you found the old film reel, run it through the spool on the projector.
Let's try something else.
Baranor, the cursed city. Baranor, the martyred town. Baranor has been nothing but a field of ruins and desolation since the week after the explosion of reactor number 3 in the nuclear power plant. Valsembor is on the other side of the lake, sheltered from the prevailing wind, and fortunately it seems to have been spared from the deadly radioactive clouds. Our town was mobilized to go to the aid of our neighbors. Although our town teams were modest when compared to the catastrophe, there were nonetheless among us some brilliant mechanical engineers. In record time, they developed a small army of automatons capable of helping the affected people. Those men and dogs of steel could go where a human could no longer set foot without becoming seriously ill. Over there, they could be excavators, rescue workers, and treasure bearers.
Oscar! They all look like him.
Truly magnificent pieces, Nishtvar. The XZ2000 model is most assuredly one of Hans's major masterpieces.
Their mission was to bring back any survivors of the catastrophe to Valsembor, where the victims would receive the best care in doctors and museum clinics. The Crystal, the ferry usually responsible for linking the towns of Valsembor and Baranor every day, carried the new type of rescuers to the scene of the drama, and brought back the survivors of the catastrophe.
So Baranor suffered the ravages of a nuclear accident. But according to that film, the automatons you designed with Hans should have helped save lots of lives, right?
I'm afraid that's not how things went. Because of Captain Obo, who... Ah, that must be Sarah. Please come this way, Miss Walker. I'll introduce you.